Isn't God great? Look at this. After cutting the grass today, I noticed how wonderful God is and how much He loves us on this planet. Even though this is considered a weed, I think it's called a daffodil, it is still a beautiful God creation. Now, we get so caught up in everyday life of stresses, we never sit down sometimes long enough just to look at the wonderful things that God creates on a day-to-day basis. Now, of course, looking at this right here, you will never realize that this is a weed. But still, regardless, it's still beautiful. Now imagine if we didn't have grass. What would this planet look like without the beautiful grass? It would look a mess, wouldn't it? It would be like a desert with nothing. So even if it's grass and these are weeds, it's still a part of God's great creation. And sometimes we look at grass as, oh man, look at that grass, it's growing, I gotta cut it. But think about it, when you get out there and cut it, you're doing God's work by keeping His planet beautiful. So imagine if you just had a house with no grass, with no weeds. You wouldn't have nothing to do, would you? You wouldn't have no grass to cut, no weeds to cut down. So it's like God saying, I want to keep you busy. And once you cut that grass and cut those weeds down, you'll see how beautiful God's creation is. Now, I'm going to show you the grass. Now imagine this is the grass that I finished cutting. You see how beautiful that is now? After I put my back into it. And now you look at the weeds that was out there in the grass. But they were so beautiful, I just couldn't just let them get cut up by the lawnmower. So what I did instead, I went and put them in a vase, or a vase, or however you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. But regardless, it's still a part of God's creation, and I didn't want to see it die. So I took a vase and put water in it. And as long as it has water, just like our body, as long as it has water, which is something that God created again for us to live off of, then it will stay alive. It will stay alive. And so today is Wednesday, June the 8th, 2016. And a lot of times in our lives, we look at things and say, oh, it has no purpose. But we have to realize we did not create it. God did. So every living creature on this planet has a purpose. So when we decide to kill things, to kill ourselves, we have to realize that we did not give life, and we don't have the authority to take it either. Now, I just want to thank God for this beautiful day. Thank God for allowing me to come outside and cut this grass. Because some years ago, approximately about 10 years ago, I was involved in a terrible car accident. And it did some things to my brain. I could even push a lawnmower, y'all. But today, approximately 10 years later, I'm able to push a lawnmower. Ain't God good? Ain't God good? Well, That's all I would have to say today. And you all have a blessed Wednesday, June 8th, 2016. And God loves you very much.